Welcome. Alright guys, welcome to another episode of AJAWI TV. I'm AJAWI, and this is where we discuss architectural and construction related topics. Guys, if you're hearing me clearly, let me know. You know the rule already. You know the golden rule for this channel. We have a social contract. As soon as you come in, you hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe. If you want to be notified whenever I go live or post videos, hit the notification bell. Right? Hit the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I post videos just like this one. So guys, first of all, I want to say welcome back to Mr. Roy Scott. You know, say this week today, I say, hold on, I didn't see work Royce last week. What's going on? Right? Gigi, big up yourself. Gigi is the first one in the building today. Right? First one in the building today. Anne-Marie, big up yourself, big up yourself. Little Lee, big up yourself, big up yourself. Those that are here, I just want to say I appreciate you. I appreciate you, right? This is where we try and basically create a community where we can share ideas, share construction related tips, so that you know you as a returning resident can come back to Jamaica and be safe, right? Build your home and settle in. Jamaica is for you, right? If you are born in Jamaica and you're now overseas, Jamaica is for you. So I want to say welcome. Alright, so for this evening I have 3 properties that I will be letting you guys know about. Please, if you're hearing me clearly, guys, just let me know, give me a thumbs up so that I know that you can hear me clearly. Or better yet, I can check online, but sometimes I don't want the feedback. Let me know if the background music is too loud. Alright? Okay, so music is too loud. Alright, let me turn that down a little. No, you know, I'm gonna have it until I'm 100, you know. Gonna have it until I'm 100. You know, that is yesterday I was thinking about it. Right? I was let me try and turn that down a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, it's yesterday I did it and I think about it and I say, yo, I wonder what me look like when me get more up in that. When you reach all 100 and me here start go. Alright guys, so I have 3 properties. I have actually I found about six properties, but I'm gonna put 3 here and then 3 goes to the Patreon. So those that are in the Patreon group can get the others. I gotta take care of my people in Patreon, guys, so you know I have to make sure that I look out for them. Alright, so I didn't get these off of our website this time. I actually just went to classifieds and I saw this and I was like, yeah, these look good, but I didn't get any website this time. Alright, so this one, first one is a quarter-acre lot in Banbury, Linstead. I thought that would be a good location, St. Catherine, and the number for that person is 876-866-7386. Right, so it's Banbury, Linstead, and the number is 876-866-7386. Guys, give me 1 minute. Let me just close my door. Right, let me close my door. Alright, I know, right? Back to regular programming. Bro, I tried to recross haircut and now. Oh, no. Me not the recross. Can't manage that one day. I wonder how you look with that. Send us an image, no? So yeah, quarter-acre lot in Linstead, right? Quarter-acre lot in Linstead. So the number for that is 876-866-7386. I like Linstead. I've been down there a couple of times. It's a nice little area. I kind of like there. I don't know about that exact location, but yeah. The Logical More, big up yourself. Welcome. Alright, welcome. Alright. I thought this one is a nice one as well. I know Diamond Road. Diamond Road is just up the road from me. It's up Stony Hill side. So I saw this one and I'm like, you know, maybe somebody can find out the price for it. No. Diamond Ridge. This is different from Diamond Road. But Buff Bay. This one is Buff Bay, Portland. Sorry about that. I'm thinking about another property. Anyways, land for sale, 1 acre, right? Diamond Ridge, Buff Bay, Portland. I did a research the other day, did a drone survey for somebody, and I did some site investigation or preliminary site investigation, and it stated that Portland is the safest place, safest parish in Jamaica, right? So I kind of like the location, and it's beautiful, right? Portland is very beautiful. So this is 1 acre, Diamond Ridge, Buff Bay, Portland, and the number for this person is 876-315-1782. That's 876-315-1782. Right? Alright, so the next lot, which I love. You know, when I was younger, I told myself that I would love to live at this location, but you know, as time goes by, my mind changed. But this lot is located at Smoky Vale, St. Andrew, right? lot with city view is approximately 16,500 square feet, mostly flat at the top of Aries Avenue on the main road. Good location according to the person. The cost for that, they're saying that it is $16 million, right? And the contact number for that person is 876-810-4448 or 876-789-1580. Let me give you the numbers again. 876-810-4448 or 876-789-1580. Alright? So those are the lots that I will, bring to you guys today. The rest I'll put it in Patreon so that those that are on there can get those. Alright? So the topic for today, the topic that I'll be discussing today, or we will be discussing today, right? Because it's not just me, it's you guys. Things that you may be doing, right, that will prevent you from building your dream home. Whether you, especially for young people, right? Especially for young people. I decided to do this because this week I was there sitting and I'm wondering to myself, what are the things that I know now, being that I'm in the architectural industry and I'm more exposed to construction and stuff like that. What are the things that I wish I did know as it relates to building a home or even acquiring property that I wish I knew then, that would probably, give me a head start. And it just went through my mind over and over, and I'm thinking, the number one thing that I wish I would have done, or something that I think I don't do, that may have prevented me from building my dream house already, right, is this. The first one is this. As young people, or as Jamaicans overall, we want our dream home and we do not have that dollar value of what our dream house, our home, should cost, right? We don't have a clue as to what is that magic number. How much am I going to spend on construction if I'm going to build my dream home? Now, you may be wondering, but at a young age, how would I know the cost of construction and stuff like that? And most people are actually going to the NHT and they're looking for one of them scheme house to buy. And I agree with you on that last point, being that when I was, say, 25, 26, I was more looking towards the NHT for housing solution, or look as a JA, big up yourself. I was more looking towards the NHT to say, okay, when I'm ready for a house, I'm going to actually approach the NHT and hopefully I get a loan. And I had no clue as to how much money am I going to spend on my dream home, how much am I going to buy it for, or how much am I going to build if I decide to build. How much money am I going to be spending? I didn't have a clue on that, right? So that is why I decided to tell you, if you do not know the dollar value of construction as it relates to your dream home, how much do you intend to spend on your dream home, And don't think of it as, oh, I have this big number and it's impossible to get, I'm unrealistic. The more you are in tune with the numbers of your dream home, the more possible you make it, right? The more possible you make it, right? So I would say to you, sit down and come up with that dollar value. So that's the first thing, right? So the second thing that I believe most of us, the mistake that most of us have been making as it relates to our dream home, and even if you're in Jamaica or overseas, is that dollar value, we have no strategy to go about attaining that dollar value, right? Or even getting the deposit. Most of the times what happens is that Jamaicans, or us as Jamaicans, we wait till last minute. So we want a house and we start planning it all a year or 6 months before, right? When we have been working for decades and you know, we haven't been saving or putting away money. Now, as a young person, I wanted to do this. I'm not a financial advisor, right? But this is the advice that I will give you. Set up an account that every single month you put away money towards your drawings, towards your construction, or even towards the deposit. So my rule for you would be 10%, right? 10% of whatever it is that you're making. And a lot of people will say, boy, the bills, me have so much bills and all of that. 10% of anything where you make for the month, you put it away towards your construction cost, right? So if you have $10, 10% of that, $1, right? You just put away that in an account dedicated to your home, right? Put it away to that. Once you set up that account, you know that it's not an account that you will use, and make sure that it is an investment account, right? That means that you earn a little bit more money on your money, right? And once you are thinking about doing your construction, you should have a dollar value that you're aiming towards, so that account, you can say, okay, within the next 10 years I should be able to get that amount of money. But you have to also take into account inflation, right? So you keep adjusting and looking at what the construction cost is within the period, right? Within the period, and then you adjust accordingly, right? And how do you get the construction value? You can always use my app, right? Or you can find a square area and chance it. But you know that I have a calculator on my website that you can use and check that, right? On a probably a yearly or a weekly or a monthly basis, you can always go back to that calculator and just punch in the size rooms that you want, and then you'll be able to get that, right? So have that dollar value, right? To say, okay, for example, I want a 3-bedroom house, right? 3-bedroom house, 2 bathrooms, kitchen, dining, living, garage. And I'm saying, okay, based on the calculator, I'm looking at least 35 million, right? Let's just say that. How I would do it is, my monthly income, whatever that monthly income is, I would have a budget, and within my budget I have a certain percentage that must go towards my home, right? And I don't spend from that. I wouldn't spend from it. When you're thinking about the home, the cost for the home, also think about the cost for your drawings and submittals and stuff like that. Don't think about it at the moment that you want to do it. At least have something saved up for that. A friend of mine, what she does, or what she did, was she left Jamaica and went to another country, right? And what she said she do is every single month she take out $100 out of her salary, deposit it into that account, and say that is for the drawings and to get a start, right? So that will deal with drawings and stuff like that. By the time she's ready to actually do the drawings for her home and get approval, she already have all of the money where she need to do her drawings. So she just come and she sort out her drawings and she get ready to go, right? And that simple habit of putting away that little money every month helps. So if you're not doing that, you are preventing yourself from having your dream home, right? If you don't have an account that you put at least $100 US, that's $10,000 a month, right, or $15,000 a month, put away that money and say, okay, that is for my home. If you're not doing that, you are preventing yourself from building or even buying your dream home. Alright? The first one, if you do not know how much you intend to spend to build your dream home, you are preventing yourself from having your dream home. Right? So keep that in mind. Know the dollar value that you want to spend on construction as it relates to your dream home, and know the and know, well, let's not say no, have an account that you put away money towards your dream home on a regular basis. If you are not doing that, you are preventing yourself from having your dream home. Alright? The next thing, and probably one of the most important thing, is that you don't have an idea of how many bedrooms, how many rooms, how many kids, how many guests, whatever you're going to have, guest bedroom you're going to have as a dream home, right? What we do, or what Jamaicans do, is they drive past a big house, right? They drive past a big house and them say, oh, the bedroom, the house, they look nice, that's my dream home. That's somebody else's dream home. That's not really your dream home. You need to sit down, have a conversation with yourself. What do I really want? What would make me comfortable? Is it that I want a big house with 20 bedrooms and I don't sleep in all of them, or do I want a decent sized home, maybe 3 bedrooms or 4 bedroom, I have a guest bedroom, bathroom, en suite. We don't have an idea of how many bedrooms, how many living, dining, kitchen, whatever, how many room are the size of the home that you would want, and if that will fit your family. Remember, these are things that you can adjust as you go along. Maybe when you started out you only wanted a 2-bedroom house, right? And you didn't want it in a upscale community. Maybe that's the case. You just want it in a nice country area, and that's it for you. That's comfortable for you. But as you go along, you realize that, hey, that's not going to fit my lifestyle, and you adjust. But a lot of us don't really know. What we know is the look of the house. So we have a lot of pictures on the internet, and we're looking at how the house is supposed to look. It's supposed to have, some modern features and stuff like that. But we don't really know how much rooms and the size of the building that we want and the associated cost to it. Right? So what happens is that you're overseas, right? You're overseas and you have this big idea of what you want your home to be, right? And you decide now that you're going to get a drawing done. Here's the tricky part to it. You're going to draw your dream home, right? With no clue of what your budget should be, right? no clue of what your budget should be. Instead, you're now drawing all willy-nilly. You don't really have a realistic view of what it is that you want. So you design a home that is big, that you feel that, okay, this will be comfortable for me, and you get that approved. Then you try to build it and you realize that, oh wow, the cost of construction is actually not what I thought it would be, right? Cost of construction is not what I thought it would be, but what do I do now? You just designed a huge home and you can't complete it, right? So having that idea of what your budget should be, right? What is that dollar value? How many bedrooms is associated with that dollar value? And that is why I did the calculator like that, so you know how many bedrooms you're looking at for that dollar value, right? Now you're in a position where when you go to somebody to draw something, they are to prepare a set of building plans for you for application for building approval. You're not designing something that you will never build. I drove from Kingston to Westmoreland already, and the amount of unfinished houses that I see is amazing. If I pass 10 houses, 8 out of those 10 are unfinished buildings, and they are not going to be finished for now. Because what? They are huge. They're huge houses, right? And how they decided to build was, they decided to build and just go up. Them not say, alright, ground floor, we have finished ground floor now, and then we go up on top of that. What they did was just build everything. So them set up a structure, and them run out of money, no roof, no ground floor, them can't live in it, it's just unfinished, and they cannot occupy it because they never had an idea of what that dollar value is. They never had a budget to facilitate that, and they drew something that dollar value that they have cannot finish that, right? Oh, right, say, okay, cool, understand. Alright, so having those things in place and having a budget to attain it is very important, and I implore you, starting today, when you finish this live, right, when you finish this live, write down what you think that dollar value of your home should be, because if you don't know it, you're preventing yourself from having a dream home, right? What you think that dollar value should be. If it is that you don't know that dollar value, go to the calculator, adjust it to fit what you think you want as a dream home, right? I'm going to even reduce the cost to access the calculator, because I realize that a lot of people, you know, it's a little bit high for them, so I'm going to reduce the price so that they can access it as well, right? But if you can't afford to access the calculator at this point, it's kind of bad. Right? It's bad. It means that, you know, you're not really ready to build your home. But let's not take it from that perspective. You are now watching this video because you are deciding that you're going to build your dream home, right? And there are things that you may or may not be doing that is going to prevent you from building your dream home. So what I want you to do is to write down that dollar value of how much you're going to spend on your dream home, right? When you have that dollar value, figure out how many rooms that will be, right? How many rooms will your dollar value be, right? When you figure out how many rooms that dollar value will be, Ah, shoot, I lost my chain of thought a while ago. Carlton House, big up yourself. Try not to use the symbols, alright? Alright, so yeah, when you leave this live, what I want you to do is write down that dollar value, right? Figure out what size house will fit that dollar value and create a folder for that. Then what I want you to do is create a budget for yourself. Create a budget and put away at least 10% of whatever you make towards your dream home. Right? Then what I want you to do is to create an account that is strictly for that. Strictly for your building construction cost. Here's what it will also do for you. During construction, because you know exactly how much money you're looking to spend and it is in a designated account, what's gonna happen is this. You're going to be more careful as to how much you spend, one, and two, you're going to now keep better records as you go through the construction process, right? You will, once you do your bill of quantities, you will then be able to associate how much money you're going to put towards it, and then that will help you to attain your dream home simply by following along, right? So it helps you in many ways. But if you don't have these little tricks or these little strategies in place, you are actually preventing yourself from getting your dream home, right? Write it down, get a budget, get an account, and start planning from now. If you know that 10 years from now you want your home, start planning from today. Don't wait until 5 years or 3 years. If you're a teenager in school, or if you're 18, start planning from now. Put away that little $200 in or little $500, put it away, so that when you reach a certain age and you want to actually build your home, you already even have your deposit or you have a certain amount of money put down where you can start to build your dream home. Alright, that's my advice as it relates to that, or that's my point of view as it relates to that. Alright, you can let me know if you what you think about it, right? Ricardo, big up yourself, big up yourself. Guys, 21 people in the building, only 19 likes, only 19 likes, so bring the likes up. Alright, so I'm gonna go into some questions now. I hope that little advice will help you to take one step closer towards your dream home, right? Somebody checked out a few videos back. Guys, post your questions in the comment section so that I can answer them as we go along. Alright, somebody asked on the channel, where is the construction calculator? It is on the website. It is on www.AJAWIConstruction.com, and you will see the construction calculator there. Alright, so Emmanuel Bright, he saw a the video about waste during construction, or ways people waste money during construction, and he left a comment, right? So his comment was, another waste in construction is not recognizing the need for supervision and oversight. People tend to trust family but don't recognize misunderstanding is not misunderstanding is not cross-referencing material. Oh boy, it's not really English. But anyways, Okay, I get what he's saying now. So he's saying that, but they don't recognize that every family or friend, right, needs to be held accountable. So when you have a friend that is doing construction, chances are you're going to be a little bit more lenient with them when they make mistakes. So, you know, right? Yeah, I entered the low income housing competition. It's kind of stressing me out though. I don't know if I'll follow through with that because I have some projects that I have a lot of projects that I need to do. So we'll see. Anyways, another costly misunderstanding is not cross-referencing material lists given by tradesmen. Another is making constant small trips to the hardware, trying for the washing machine. Basically what he's saying is this: when you don't get supervision for your site, you will tend to make a lot of trips to the hardware, which does send up the cost, right? Because every trip that you make, you have to pay somebody to carry the material to your site. You're now taking time out from, you know, what you're supposed to be doing, right? Also, what he's also saying is, if you're not cross-referencing the material that the contractor is saying that they're going to provide and the one that is actually on the bill of quantities, then chances are you're wasting money, right? Because what he's alluding to is that the contractor may overcharge you on that, right? Which I do understand. Not a lot of contractors will try to cheat you. Most of the times when that happens is when you don't have a bill of quantities, or you don't engage somebody that is actually professional. You know, you just use a friend who's a friend who's a friend. Right? So let's see what this guy is saying. My opinion on prefab homes, I did do a video on that. The thing with prefab homes is this: it's kind of costly if it is that you're doing it as an individual, and it depends on the material, how to get it to the location. So it at the end of the day, it kind of, to me, is expensive, right? It's kind of expensive if it is that you're looking at concrete, as in building a concrete home and then transporting it to the location. It's kind of, there's a lot of maneuvering to do. If you're thinking about other types of prefabricated homes, then that's a different thing. The cost is cheaper. So steel or aluminum, right? You have a company that does that in Jamaica. Foam is another option. I've been looking into that recently due to the design competition. You can relatively get a decent small starter home with a small budget out of foam. But here's the thing: you can't add on to it, right? Meaning you can't go up. You can go back, you can go to the side, you can go to the front, but you can't go up on top of foam, because foam doesn't have that much. When once it is small or slender, it doesn't have any compressive strength, right, to take a full structure above it, right? So that's something that you can think about. What type of house can be placed on a leased land? That's a good question. I like that question. I like that question. A lot of people don't think about that. If it is that you cannot buy land, you don't have the money to buy the land up front, you can always lease the land, which is much cheaper. So you can lease it for all of 20 years while you put your life together. And what I would suggest for that, if you're going to lease land, lease it for at least a 30 year or 20 year and put your life together, right? And what I would suggest you do is, if you and your husband together and you're saying, okay, honey, we're going to lease a piece of land, and you lease a little section, and you know, say after 30 years, what's gonna happen is you have to give up the land, right? And whatever you have built on it, a lot of people build concrete structure on that land and end up having to leave it at the end of the 30 years or whatever time period. Here's what I would do. I would get a foam structure built, right? A dome foam structure. Go on the internet, type it in, dome foam buildings, right? It is in you can go online and even purchase it, and you'll get a decent sized home. Forget about container. Container is too expensive. I keep telling people container homes are expensive when you have to cut into the container, right? I wouldn't do that. I would go towards foam. One, the foam distributes load across it, and because it is a dome, it doesn't earthquake doesn't affect it, storm doesn't affect it, right? Because the dome structure distributes load evenly across it and cancel it out. So imagine this is the dome. This is what's happening when the load hits it. This is what it does. It goes around and hit into each other and cancel itself out. That's what happens with dome structures, right? The load transferred and cancel itself out at the end of it, right? Go and buy a dome structure. They will ship it to you. It's very affordable based on what I'm seeing so far, and you can set it up with you and your wife. The two of you can set it up on yourself. You don't need a carpenter, you don't need a plumber, you don't need a man to lift a rock. You and your wife can sit down and get one circular saw and cut. All you do, you make a platform, right? And you can make it out of timber, right? You make a deck to put the foam onto, and you and the two of you can set it up. It's lightweight. The material is lightweight, but it's tough. You cannot burn it. You cannot. Well, it can burn, but it has a certain level of resistance to heat, right? If you stand on it, you can't break it. Keep that in mind. And what that will do is it will allow you to construct something at a minimal cost, right? Keep the money in your pocket. Start investing. Start saving, right? Start investing and start saving and put yourself in a better position to then move up to maybe you want to buy a piece of land and put yourself in a position where you can build the dream home that you want. But for the next 20 years, you are living in a decent home, right? That people will drive past and they will look at that and say, yo, that house looks really nice, right? That's what I would do. That's what I think I would do in such a situation. Gigi, I don't understand what is that? Alright. Gigi, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand what the last word is. Yurt, what is that? CB bar. Timber is not cheap, especially now. Timber is very expensive. To build a timber house is very expensive. No, I'm not saying a dome type house. I'm saying a foam dome house. Go online and type in dome houses. It is made of foam. Yes, it is made of foam. It is made in a factory, and you can actually go buy it and ship it to Jamaica and then put it together. I'm gonna try and Google it now. I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm gonna share screen. Let me see if I can do this properly. Bamboo is prone to termites, guys. Termites eat bamboo very quickly. This is what I'm talking. Don't mind the colors. Don't mind the colors, please. This is just their style. Alright. Let me scroll down. That's what I'm talking. So if you're seeing that, that's what it looks like. Once you build this, you're looking at something that will last for a long time. That's what the inside is looking like. Right? I was looking at it and I'm like, why are people not interested in this as a housing solution when you can lease a piece of property for an extended period of time and just build something that is comfortable for you? Once you're ready to leave, you can always disassemble it and take it where you go. Right? You can always disassemble it. It finishes and looks just like concrete. Right? Once you finish with it. Right? Yeah, so once you finish with that, it looks just like concrete. Will you need to go to the parish council for approval for that? I'll have to check that. I think you would have to. But because it is a temporary structure, it's not necessarily a permanent structure. It's something to think about. Good question. Answer, I'm not so sure about that one. I'd have to check that out. Right? I'd have to check that out. I don't know. I never thought about that. As I said, the average cost for a home is $60 per square feet. A dome home is $60. The average cost is $150 and the dome house is $60. But you have to remember, you have just cut out the most expensive part of construction, which is labor, because you and your wife are gonna do that yourself, or you get 3 men to come deal with it and you just pay them. The way how they set it up is genius because 3 or 4 person can set it up. All you need is probably a saw and some putty, cement, you understand, and you finish it by yourself. That's pretty simple. And you need some tape or what you call it, silicone. Very cheap. So think about that. Again, to me, a lot of people think that container houses are the solution. If you're thinking that it's going to be container houses are not cheap and you have to think about cooling the container at the end of the day. So it's not necessarily as cheap as you think. It's a little bit more cost effective, I give you that. It's a little bit cheaper, right? A little bit cheaper than if you were going full-blown concrete and steel and workmen and all of that. Yes, you may get cheaper, but once you're looking at stacking containers onto each other and having multiple containers and cutting out container walls, it's gonna be more expensive. I personally, I would love to do one of them domes, right? Just buy it, ship it in and set it up. And if I had the opportunity to lease a land in a decent location for an extended period of time, that's what I would do, right? Because I'm keeping my cost down, my cost of living down to a minimal, and I'm putting myself in a position where I now can use my money to save and invest, so that down the line I'm better off. You understand? That's how I view it. That's how I think, right? That's how I think. Above ground pool. I sell above ground pool every now and again. I ship them in and sell them. It's a good option if you don't want to get into the whole process of let us say concrete work and having a permanent pool in the yard. You can get an above ground pool, get a little area and you maintain it. Is just like a regular pool. Right? All you do, you maintain it and you do your thing, right? Tax office will take all of that you save. Nah man. Depends on what. Remember, I would invest it, so they won't have anything to take. Because it's not like I have money. I don't have money like that. I wouldn't have the money like that. It would be in an investment, so but you have to give to Caesar what is Caesar's, so. Byron Marshall, you're asking if it is cheaper to build the exterior walls or the perimeter wall of the building out of concrete, and then the interior walls out of drywall. Yeah, that will be a little bit more cheaper, right? And it will also be a little bit faster as well. But remember, timber price is expensive right now. The cost of lumber is expensive. So in the present economy right now, it is not as cheap. Concrete blocks are very cheap. Concrete blocks are cheap, right? So that is why a timber house, once you get into a real well-designed timber house, it's going to be expensive compared to blocks, where the reason why block and steel is so readily used is because it is one of the cheaper options, right? But if you have a look on just shack, doing a little shack for living up, yeah, timber is going to be cheaper that way, right? Colin Hugh, again, the 3,000 square feet house, go use my construction calculator. You can get that information there. For me to sit down and calculate how much, steel price is going up. Yeah. Steel price is going up as well, guys. Because of the pandemic, construction material is very expensive right now, right? So if you can build by yourself or DIY it, it's better for you. As in, if you can manage not to go and actually do the construction yourself, if you can manage the process properly, get the necessary people in place and manage it very well, you can possibly keep your costs down. But right now, construction is very expensive because of the pandemic, right? So especially timber. Rachel, remember you can't send long messages, okay? The bot is going to remove it. Sourcing affordable building material. No, I can't. I don't really know what to say on that one. I would say try to have less trips. That will help, right? Okay, boy, Gigi, be careful of that one there. You don't want them they don't want me get a strike on YouTube. How expensive is box and cast using blocks? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that one. Box and cast. I couldn't tell you. That I don't know. That I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you that one. But as long as, let me tell you, as long as you have a budget and you know where you do, you know what you want, and you, alright, this week somebody called me and they were like, if during construction, once they're doing the construction, if they can change anything and if that will affect the construction cost. And my answer for that is yes, guys. When you don't plan ahead and you are now in construction and you're making changes, That is the whole reason why you do your building plan, right? That is the reason why you employ me to do your drawings for you and get it approved, so you know exactly what you're going to build, right? And how much it costs you to build that. The moment you start knocking down walls on a construction site to build or to adjust, right? The moment you start knocking down walls and shifting around things during construction is the more expensive it starts to become. Remember, you have to pay the man them for put up the wall, right? Then you have to go pay them for knock it down. Then you have to go pay them for put up a different wall at a different location. Also, you're going to now be in a position where the contractor can apply for a variation, right? So you don't want to be doing that. Design what you want, sit down and pencil out what it's gonna cost you, and work with what you have designed. Most of the times what people do is during construction they go there and they see the size of the rooms, and they're like, it looked too small. No, it's not small. You're not looking at the building being inside of it and it being all around you. You're looking at it underground. When it looks small, it's gonna look small that way. Once the walls go up and it's all around you and you're actually in the space, that is when you're able to feel whether it is big or small. So a lot of people, what they do, they go to the site when it mark out and they might dig trench and they want to say, boy, this looks small, man, want it bigger. You don't really want it bigger because you've already designed and budgeted for that. Stick with it. If you are dealing with somebody sensible who knows, okay, the sizes that are comfortable are the minimum sizes within the construction, within the building code, they will advise you accordingly. But if you go there and start the construction start and you there look on the room and I walk around and looking at the room there, it's gonna look small to you. Right? It's gonna look small to you. A 10 by 10 when it's on the ground is not the same 10 by 10 you're gonna feel when it's all around you. Right? Keep that in mind. Oh, I have a house made of recycled plastic. Remember I said plastic flammable in a pooper. But it is possible, but I wouldn't necessarily want to do that. Tile size, I like 2 feet by 2 feet tiles. They're my preference. I like how they feel on the floor, the look that it gives the space, and I like them when they're clean. The tile man butt them together and just give it that nice finish. I like when tiles are laid like that. Not a lot of people will like it. I always suggest 2 by 2 tiles. You have smaller tiles, as in 16 by 16, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. I use the 2 by 2 tiles so often that I forget about the smaller ones. But yeah, I like the 2 by 2 tiles, right? You can get any type of countertop you want in Jamaica. You have Alex Imports, you have a lot of countertop providers in Jamaica. But anyways, 10 minutes after the hour, guys, I'm gonna look at a few more pictures and then, not pictures, a few more questions and then wrap it up and call it a night, right? I hope this session was informative for you and you got information from it. Gigi, let's see. Okay. No, it's a that's why you have a designer. whenever you have a house that has already been constructed and then you build it and there is no approval for it, you have to get an engineer's report before you decide to build on top of it. It's always advised to do that, to know if the structure can actually hold up what you're going up with, right? Get it designed, get it approved. It should be good. As long as there is an approval before, the designer will know, what load it can take, and get an engineer to inspect it, right? Get an engineer to inspect it. A lot of people don't appreciate the work that engineers do, but trust me, for me personally, I rather be in my home and can go my bed and not worry about the building falling down and my children and my wife, right? That's just the comfort that I have, that I want. And that is one of the reasons why I don't even do engineer design for people. I can do engineering drawings and I just don't do it because I want people to be able to be in their home and I am not there worrying to say box cover the building, I wonder if that building they drop down. I don't want that for people. So that's why I always get an engineer to design the houses, as in the structure of it, how it hold it up, right? As it relates to design, I mean, I'll design pretty much anything. My partners and I will design pretty much anything that we feel comfortable doing. It depends on, as it relates to estates, yeah, why not? It would be a pleasure, right? I'd have to speak to my associates, right? As you know, I don't do certain size structures, and whenever it reaches certain size, because I'm an architectural technologist, certain size houses or buildings I don't do by myself. I have to get an architect involved, and I do have an architect that I work with whenever such a situation arrives, right? So I don't want anybody to get the idea that I'm plain architect. I'm not. I'm an architectural technologist. Once it goes over 4,500 square feet, then I have to have the engineer involved, the architect involved, right? Mr. Serenity, alright, yeah, Mr. Serenity, I agree with you. A lot of the building solutions that are in Jamaica, the boundaries can be pushed a little bit. We think a lot inside the box, right? And as long as it is not within that box, whoever comes along and try to show a different option, it's shut down. It's you know, it's trust me, it's difficult to get approval for it. But if you want, let me tell you, I'm gonna give you this information, and I'm glad that you guys are here. So if you made it this far, congrats. The cheapest house that you can build, for yourself is called Adobe houses, right? Go on YouTube and type in dirt bag houses. Yes, it can finish and look just like concrete, and yes, you are using dirt. The most affordable commodity on God's earth is dirt. But because in Jamaica we do not think outside of the box, we just think concrete and steel, and that is the safest material. No, dirt is the safest material. It's just that you don't know how to use it, right? So I'm giving you that. Go do the research, go look at it, think outside of the box for your home, right? Think outside of the box. I watched videos over and over where families build their own home, right, out of dirt bag houses, and all them do, them make sure that each of them child have a room and a space for themselves. What the problem that we have as Jamaicans is that we want the biggest house, we want the flashiest things, and we don't think generational wealth, and we don't think of living within our means. We want the flashiest thing, and it can look good, it can look very attractive, it can look unique. If you should build one of those houses, I can guarantee you a lot of people, once they drive past your house, they will stop and look. Right, they will stop and look. But we want the big house, right? We want the big house and the big car and whatever it is. Anyways, guys, dirt tire, that's a good option to build road, like a driveway. If you're on a budget and you want to build a retaining wall or a driveway for your home, and you don't want to spend a lot of money, use some tires. Go down a Riverton. They want to get rid of those tires anyways. Go down to Riverton, cut the top of the tire, make sure the bottom is still intact, put it down, screw them together to make your driveway. Dump sand or gravel inside of it, compact it, and you have a decent driveway that will last you for years. If you want a retaining wall, you can use the same thing. You just spread them out, cut the top, ram earth into it, and then go up all the way, and that you just created a retaining wall for yourself. There are a lot of ways that you can do things. It's just that you have to think outside of the box. The reason why I think this way is because I'm trained in architecture, and during school I am looking at different options that are available, and it's just for us to just start thinking outside of the box. That's simply just it, right? If you want to stabilize a soil, use some tires. You live on a hillside and you're trying to go up with the cheapest possible option, get some tires. Buy some tires down a Riverton, cut it out, dump dirt into it, stabilize the soil, right? Yes, we do have to be more creative. I agree with you on that one, 100%. But remember, it starts somewhere, and we just have to start, right? It's gonna take a little bit of willpower, a little bit of effort, but we just have to start. All right, guys. I'm not gonna stay any longer with you. It was a decent discussion. I appreciate the many comments. I noticed that the likes on the channel is on the video is not up to where I want it to be. Please, if you're here now, just click the like button. It really helps me when you share, when you like, when you comment on the videos. It helps the channel to go even further. We're at 4,000 subscribers now, right? And most of the videos, I don't see as much views on them because we're not liking and sharing and stuff like that. So please like the videos, go and watch another video. I have a lot of videos that a lot of people are saying that they're helpful, they're able to utilize them, and I appreciate that, right? I appreciate that. So yeah, that's it for me, guys. Go over to my other channel as well. We just dropped 2 videos over there. Go over there. My wife and I just did a video. We're going through a process I just got engaged, as I told you guys. So go over there, check out what's happening over there, and you know, be a part of the family. I soon change the channel name over there to the AJAWI family, but that's after we actually tie the knot and in celebration and things. So please like, comment, share, subscribe, be a part of the movement. Let us start, you know, making some change, right? My serenity, I appreciate the appreciation. Thank you very much. You see, I make sure I take all the time. If you don't know, guys, I have a little bit of a headache. Why? Because I was up last night. I'm reading a book now. Right? And whenever I get into something, I really get committed to it. And it's like I went to bed late. I went to bed like about 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock yesterday, reading the book up in the night, and then I got up like 2 o'clock and started to read the book again. So I'm just that's just me. Anyways, guys, thank you. Later, alright, later. Big up yourself, stay safe, and thank you